grounded. Because I come from Bladenboro, North Carolina, I think I'm better than you. Because I can gut a blue brim without busting her gallbladder. That is to say, without befouling the meat. I know why you need alum to make sweet pickles. That crickets are cheaper in Orem than in Bladenboro. And that if you have to put up more than 10 ends when you restart a spinning frame, you better not tell anybody you're a dolpher. Least of all any cotton mill people. Alan Cox could dolph 30 frames, not lose 5 ends. Audie Shaw was a good dolpher too, as were a number of the blacks, who rode in together 6 deep in rickety Pontiacs, to spin cotton astride the same ground from whence their forebears once picked it. I was in Audie Shaw's Niggertown garden the day I learned to wear long sleeves and gloves to cut okra, no matter the temperature or the color of your arms. So many things we might have learned from the black people. Nashville's full of grown men walking around in cowboy hats, wishing they were me, crooning celebratory anthems of an idyllic agrarian paradise flowing with jacked-up trucks, honey-assed whores, bonfires, farming, moonshine, and mama. There's whores there to be sure, but you know what they've got and everybody they've been with. People you wouldn't fuck behind. Unless you too happen to find yourself fairly horny on some or another occasion, the particulars of which now slip your mind. Except you remember bruises on their necks, bullet holes in their asses, babies in shitty diapers, courtesy of the pimps in the jacked up trucks, the pill dealers, who keep the whole town yayed up and gagged out so they can cruise around in a circle between the post office and Benson's sandwich shop, brandishing handguns and blasting Ja Rule. My cousin Dodger used to be the shit, man. They called him that because of Sandy Koufax, and for how he used to get away from the Bladenboro Police Department. We used to go hunting back at his daddy's place. Dodger would kill a deer every time. Have the damn thing skinned and gutted by the time I heard the shot and made it out of the woods. He used to meet a different girl every time we rode to Wideville, or Chadburn, or Lumberton. He met 3 one night in Wilmington. I seen him last time I was home, eyes bugged out of his face, tongue lolling from one side of his head to the other, immaculately retarded on 80s, 120s, 375s. You want to chief some herb, I said? Maybe nip a little fruit jar? No, man, he said. I got pills. The girl he was living with snorted half a 60, slurped some whiskey and lit a joint with me after Dodger passed out. She was like lots of girls who just want to tell you about all the reasons they feel justified in believing they have it under their power or within their purview to change a motherfucker. He's gonna die, I said. Are you just gonna let him sit over here and eat pills till he falls out of the goddamn chair? She passed me the roach. He gets a disability check, she said. And whoring don't break your back as fast as farming. You ever do any farming? Ever spend your precious morning loading the putrefied corpses of 1,000 dead turkeys onto a tractor trailer with the acrid stench of death ammonia and moldy feathers and turkey dung dripping from your nostrils and coagulating on the back of your throat? The savory delights of big box agriculture down in the deep basin of the fabled Carolina Lowcountry, where you can run the shit and the blood and the chemicals off into the swamp and not have to worry about anybody much eating the fish, except a few thousand bow-gators who ain't good for nothing no more anyhow. What with the cotton mill jobs going to Mexico, or Bangladesh, or Sri Lanka, or wherever they let 10-year-old girls tend spinning frames for 3 cents an hour, which is considerably less than they paid the crew from Baltimore who swung an iron ball through Bladenboro Cotton Mill No. 3, the new mill, then converted the old mill into a warehouse for a regional pharmaceutical concern. Our own hometown crack house, which gets knocked off several times a month by white men in conspicuously large pickup trucks, brandishing handguns and blasting Ja Rule. No arrests are ever made, though you think someone must have seen something, seeing how it's right there beside Benson's Sandwich Shop, Hill's Food City, and the cotton mill branch of the old Blank of Bladenboro, which was acquired by a more economically nimble firm after it demonstrated a consistent inability to adapt its values and culture in order to maintain competitive viability in an increasingly ambiguous global capital environment. The Bank of Bladenboro became the Patriotic Citizens Trust in 1990, the same year Mama died. Her delicate body raped by renal carcinoma, savaged and slaughtered by cancer in May of her 38th year. Daddy traded recipes with the neighborhood women. Sent me and my brother to live with his mama, who kept the books at the cotton mill, and looked after Papa Thurman, who claimed he was a better golfer than Alan Cox in the days before Papa had his bypass, and Alan asphyxiated himself on his own car fumes while reading Ecclesiastes and listening to a Vestal Goodman cassette. The pulsing tribal religion of the brown-lunged, lint-headed Mill Hill people. Uncle A.J. fed openers to supplement his income as night watchman at the Bladenboro corn laundry and boiled peanut stand. Uncle J.T. doffed twisters and hung roving many years before preaching himself to death in a Johnston County pulpit on a cold Pentecostal Sabbath morning. Sunday, the only day they turn off the mill. And a few of us who were lucky enough to miss church working cleaned the whole place from one end to the other, the new mill, the old mill, harvesting great mountains of refuse cotton with a giant cross-handled cotton plow. Big boy work for grown man money for an orphan whose daddy was down at the Lumberton Drive-In, necking with a clerk from the health department, while Mama gently rotted in a hole across the street from a mobile home development. 800 yards from White's store at the crossroads where you turn left to get to the old Woolly Swamp Bridge. Highway 241 north towards Elizabethtown, the county seat, where Daddy ended up married to the health department clerk, who got him one of them county jobs with sick days, comp time, insurance. Things that make them think they're better than you. So much better than somebody who would claim somewhere like Bladenboro, North Carolina. Though we do have bonfires and plenty of moonshine.